Get ready for an unfair advantage over your competition. This is the Sales Edge podcast, where globally recognized sales expert and trainer Joe Pici helps you sharpen your skills for booking more appointments and closing more deals. And now, here's your host, Joe Pici.
Hey team, this is Joe Pici of the Sales Edge podcast, number 86. And boy, are we excited. And we're excited because, wow, we're growing thanks to you. Thanks to you being part of our team, part of our expansion, but more so part of the input of what you want to hear and how you want to hear it. You know, the Sales Ed podcast is sponsored by Pici and Pici, which is a speaking, training, coaching, consulting company really specializing in helping individuals and companies gain an advantage over competition, get in front of their target market, be more effective at attracting and retaining quality clients. And so we would like you to be part of this in a more proactive way, which is, why don't you give Joe a call, 407-947-2590. Let's have a complimentary cup of Joe. You can ask me anything you want, or you can say, I don't like your podcast, whatever it is, or you can email me at joe@piciandpici.com and send me an email. We'd like to hear from you. We'd like your input. We'd like to know what you want more of. And so the podcast really has ears for what you want. And as long as it's in our wheelhouse on what we do and what we do effectively, we'll talk about it. And yes, it's not going to be that long from now. We will be having guests. So, hey, maybe you're going to get a phone call, and we're going to ask you to be on here. And so today, on podcast number 86, we're going to be talking about some of the lessons from the Super Bowl. And I know some of you may not be a football fan, and some of you may be, but I don't watch a lot of TV. And I really don't watch a lot of football anymore. I'm just too busy to take 3 hours. But last Sunday night, and I was done with the podcast, and Dawn and I decided, hey, let's just see if this is going to be a good game. And I really like to watch big games because of the game outside the game. In other words, there's a game on the field, and I'm not talking about what the commentators are talking about, but I'm talking about the psychology, the dynamics of strategy that you can learn. And so as we tuned in, I'll tell you, I really looked at this whole thing on playing to win. Now you go, well, Joe, that's obvious. Doesn't everybody play to win? Well, no. Both these teams played to win. In the definition of playing to win, to do something with the primary focus of attaining victory. In business, are we playing to win? Is our primary focus to attain victory? Versus the flip side of playing to win is playing not to lose. This is to hang on to what they have, maintain the lead, risk adverse. You guard your weaknesses. You play defensive. And so I was a football coach for 20 years. And I used to always tell my guys, my team, hey, guys, let's play to win. Let's not go out to play not to lose. I remember I took a team. I didn't. My whole staff, we took a team. And this school had never, ever, ever, ever won. And we were in our second season, and we started. And all of a sudden, before you know it, we were getting ranked in the state. And we were starting to win big. And I mean, we're moving up in rankings, and we're winning in a town that had never won before, on a football team that didn't have anyone. And I started to watch the players tighten up. We'd be going out on a Friday night, and they would, all of a sudden, they would start. And I remember pulling them together before this one game and say, men, let's go out and play to win. Let's not go out and play not to lose. because there's a big difference. And so back to the Super Bowl. It was a great game. Two great teams, two great coaching staffs, two great owners, great cities. There were some great lessons that we could learn. Some similarities and some differences. Both teams exhibited the following. Both teams had their game plan set. Both teams, the coaches calling offense had their first 15 plays scripted. So their game plans were sound. Their game plans were in place, maybe just like your business plan, that on January 1st you had your business plan. Well, guess what? They went out and began to execute the business plan, the game plan, exactly for what they had put on paper. Number two, both teams trusted their systems and processes. They warmed up the same way. They did the same pregame. Everything that had worked for them in the past, they trusted. This was evident. This was evident in interviews. This was evident in preparation. They literally trusted their plan. Do you trust your plan? If you have a team, if you have a management team, if you have employees, do they trust your plan? Number three, both teams had a mentality of team first. There was no personal agendas. When you listen to the players, when you listen to the coaches, it was one team, one dream, one vision, one system. It was all team first. There was no individuality. It was both teams had done a great job at literally putting that mentality together and the players buying in. Next, both teams in the course of the season, in the course of the weeks of preparation, were able to just shut out the outside noise. They were able to not allow the media to distract them, not allow outside influences to distract them. They were able to get all their plans done the week before the real important practice week, so family members weren't calling at the last minute for tickets. They were able to shut out all the distractions. Both teams did that. Here's something both teams did. Both teams executed the game plan. In other words, they had the game plan. They believed in their system. But when you really look at what they did on the field, they executed the game plan they came in with. They stuck to it. Next, both teams had tremendous team unity. You didn't see factions. I know they panned off one time and his defensive back for Kansas City, he was yelling, but when they talked to all the players and when they turned the mic on, it was all encouragement. He wasn't putting anybody down. These teams had great team unity. Let me ask us a question. If we have a company, if we have a group, does everybody united? Do we have team unity in our businesses? Do we have team unity with our clients? I like to believe I'm part of my client's team, okay? I like to believe that I'm part of their solution, that they see me as part of their team. Next, both teams played very hard. You hear what I said? Both teams played very hard. Nobody took a play off. If there was a mistake, it was a mistake full speed. There was no slackers. Does your team play hard? Does my team play hard? Next, both teams had incredible perseverance. The game went back and forth. Sometimes this team was up, the other team persevered. This time the team was up, the other team persevered. The game went back and forth until 7 minutes into the game was left. Both teams had tremendous perseverance. Do we have perseverance? Next, both teams had tremendous belief that they would win the game. Both teams pictured themselves holding up the Lombardi Trophy. Both teams knew they could win this game. Next, both teams had the talent to win. In other words, both teams, they had about equal talent. Maybe one position was better than another position, but at the end of the day, both teams canceled each other out with respect to talent. They were both talented football teams. Next, both teams were completely healthy. They didn't leave any players in the locker room. The quarterbacks were healthy. The wide receivers were healthy. I mean, both teams had healthy players. You don't always see that towards the end of the season. A lot of times towards the end of the season, some of the teams will limp in because some of their best players have gotten hurt. Not this time. Both teams were at full capacity. Next, neither team seemed to have any head cases or selfish people. Nobody was throwing temper tantrums on the sideline. Nobody was in the coach's face asking for the ball. Nobody had a me mentality. Folks, when we're building a business, do we have prima donnas? Do we have people that everything is about them and not about the team victory? That's questions we have to ask ourselves. Here's another thing. Both teams had great leadership. From the owner to the general manager to the head coach to the coordinators to the assistant coaches to those players that were positioned as leaders on the field. Both teams, top to bottom, had unbelievably great leadership. And both teams kept fighting. Neither one of these teams dropped their heads when things went bad. They fought to the end. This was a 60-minute ball game. Do we fight to the end? So here's some quotes on winning. I love to look up quotes. I just love quotes because I look for people that are a whole lot smarter than me. Let's look at the first one, which is Colin Powell. I think whether you're having a setback or not, the role of a leader is always to display the winning attitude. Well, that's strong, isn't it? Now, let's talk about the next one, Muhammad Ali. Champions are not made in the gym. Champions are made from something they have deep inside of them, a desire, a dream, a vision. I don't care if you're playing on a football field or in the office or with a business. That's where champions are born. Zig Ziglar said, if you don't see yourself as a winner, then you cannot perform as a winner. Zig was big on that. Cory Booker, the right attitude can transform a barrier into a blessing, an obstacle into an opportunity, and a stumbling block into a stepping stone. Boy, that was apparent on that football field. That was apparent that the Mahomes kid who had not thrown an interception ever in a playoff game threw two. He didn't let that stop him. Confucius, he was a pretty bright guy, huh? The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Well, you didn't think Confucius said that, did you? How about Lou Holtz? I love Lou Holtz. The ability of what you're capable of doing, motivation. So ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and attitude, yes, attitude, determines how well you do it. Dennis Waitley, losers fix the blame, winners fix what caused the problem. I love that one. That's going on my wall. Zig, again, you were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. Thomas Jefferson, nothing can stop a man with a right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help a man with a wrong mental attitude. Brian Tracy, you cannot control what happens to you. You can control your attitude toward what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. That's a good one. I like that one. Ted Turner, you can never quit, winners never quit, and quitters never win. Fran Tarkington, before some of your time, quarterback, New York Giants, Minnesota Vikings, probably the first running quarterback. Winning means being afraid to lose. Ooh, I like that one. So let's talk about the winning edge. I believe the winning edge in the game was only on a few, just a few things. Just a couple. The 49ers played not to lose, while Kansas City played to win. Just on a couple instances, there were two drives that distinctly, to me, I wasn't judging, but I said the 49ers are playing to protect the lead. Tom Brady, who I believe, whether you like him or not, no matter how you feel, will go down as probably the best. This is what Tom said. I think at the start of a game, you're always playing to win. And then maybe if you're ahead late in the game, you come to start playing not to lose. True competitors are always the ones that play to win. John Maxwell said, the profile of a winning team, they play to win. They have a winning attitude. They keep improving. They make their teammates more successful. Michael Jordan, he was a winner. I mean, he'd cut your heart out, buddy. I play to win, whether during practice or a real game, and I will not let anything get in the way of me and my competitive enthusiasm to win. Maxwell Maltz, often the difference between a successful man and a failure is not in abilities or ideas, but in the courage that one has to bet on his ideas, to take a calculated risk. The 49ers wanted the game as badly as Kansas City. They wanted to win as badly as Kansas City. One team didn't want it more than another. But twice in the game, just twice, I believe they stopped being aggressive to play it safe. And we have to be careful of that. I think sometimes we play it safe. I think we take our foot off the gas. I think we're not as aggressive. Yesterday, Dawn and I, Pici and Pici, met with our digital marketing consultant, okay, and Robert Urban. You may want to look him up. He's really a talented guy, and we're really, really excited about partnering up with him. And what he did was he coached us yesterday. Yeah, Joe has a coach. Dawn has a coach. He coached us on some aggressive ideas in our digital marketing. Outside our comfort zone? Probably. Outside of some of the things we know? Probably. But here's what we did. And this is where I got the idea of this podcast. We decided to put our foot on the gas pedal and go. We decided we would stay aggressive. We decided we weren't going to sit because we've had an unbelievable run. We are blessed and our business is growing, but we decided not to sit on it, not to maintain it, but we decided to play to win at a higher level. So what I'm going to ask you to do is stay tuned. Stay tuned because Pici and Pici is fixing to score. Pici and Pici is fixing to take what they have to another level by being aggressive and not protecting a lead. This has been Joe Pici of the Sales Edge. We certainly appreciate you coming. We appreciate you being part of our team. We look forward to helping you take your business to be more aggressive to a new and higher level. Have a great day. We'll see you on our next podcast.
Thanks for listening. New episodes will air each Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star review. The Sales Edge is sponsored by Pici and Pici Incorporated, a firm which provides training, consulting, and keynote presentations, empowering corporations and individuals to attract and retain quality clients for higher revenues and growth. make more money in sales. Speak with Joe in person by calling 407-947-2590 or visit www.piciandpici.com. Spelled Piciand, Pici.com.